3-year-old Bully Bullion stud colt. He's been ridden now 3 or 4 times, so he's pretty green. We're going to show you just some things that we try to do each day to get him used to us being around him and kind of used to the saddle and being saddled and kind of how we get to that point of the saddling. Before we do some things before we saddle is what I'm trying to say. This is a cotton rope. I have it attached to him. It's probably about 12 foot long. Kind of the idea behind this is to try and get them, I guess the word that all the big time trainers use is desensitize. But it makes sense, you know, we're trying to get them used to different things and some different surroundings and get them used to like some action around their face. And I mean, he's kind of nervous, you can kind of see it in his eye. But it's kind of cool he approached me instead of running backwards, look for some confidence. So that's all right. But we'll just kind of spin this around a little bit, work both sides of their face because they are going to see it on a different side of their face, different eye, different side of the brain kind of deal. But we'll just kind of spin it a little, try and get them used to it. Ooh, 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 ooh. And he hadn't really been worked every single day. He just kind of a little green about all this, so it's something that's a little new to him. Well, that's all right. They're not supposed to let us sit here and swing stuff at them, so. And it's really pretty good to let them see it and sniff it, see what it's all about. He's not really too interested in it right now, but
Kevin, hold for a second.
Curious, but anyways, this is kind of how I started. Get them used to. I'll progress from this to the tarp to the saddle. And eventually we jump up on them and jump alongside them. But you guys can hear that. That's our dog trying to get out of the little golf cart door. Sort of version of knocking. But most horses aren't just going to sit there and let you do this. So it is a good idea to keep that rein short, or that rope pretty short to you, and be patient with them. You know, they're not going to understand it right off the bat. So let them smell it, kind of rub it on them a little bit. You know, don't chase your horse with it. Just, you know, if they want to smell it, maybe stay beside here and then let them do it. Let them rub up against it. That's just one way. Try not to hit your horse with the rope, just kind of let that go over their bellies. And, you know, it's a good idea. You can do this right here and turn it into a cinch if you want it. If I was really classy there, I could have caught that, but I didn't. But, you know, things like this can kind of mimic a cinch. Get them used to. A lot of horses flat off run out from underneath this. So just because this horse is standing still, don't expect yours to the first time. This is something you want to do, you know, day in and day out. If you can take 5 minutes and do stuff like this, it will help you in the long run each day. Get used to standing with the rope, you know, and then start out a long ways away because odds are they're going to be scared and try and run away. Now, if they want to move their feet, you know, you don't take it away from them unless they're trying to just completely be disrespectful and just trying to run off, which that happens too. The next thing that we usually go to is the tarp. I don't really know the exact measurements on this, but probably 4 foot by 4 foot. Some of them will get curious and want to come over and smell it. Some will be scared and want to run away from it. You know, you can roll it up into a smaller ball. Sometimes that'll make it a little more just won't be as threatening that way. But let their curiosity take over. You know, so a lot of times we can get so much more done than we just started shaking this thing out. I mean, he's kind of chewing on it. Ah, heck, that's nothing wrong with that. Probably not a good idea to just whip a 10-foot tarp out and just go, you know, trying to rub it on him there. He took that pretty good. Seen some that won't. But the idea is to make some noise with it and do some different things. And you know, he's checking it out. He's looking. His ears are forward. He's seen this before, so it's not really new to him. If your horse is running away from it a bunch, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I'll lay it down and let him follow it. A lot of horses, they'll get some confidence if it's going away from them. If he steps on it, just let him walk over it. The whole reasoning behind this is to get your horse around something that he's not going to see very often and try and put a little more trust into what you're doing. And basically try and let your horse have some confidence in that you're not going to get him in a jam every time that something new comes around. And there's a lot of ways to put that. I just don't know really how to say it. You know, once he kind of gets where you can shake it, go up to him, let him smell it. You know, again, get your hand pretty close to the right end of it. Start rubbing it on. You'll rub their leg, and rub their chest, and rub all over them. Don't do it with the saddle, because, you know, first time it could get attached somehow to the saddle, and that's a pretty good racket if you've ever seen it. Be real careful when you're doing them hips, you know, down here. Just kind of reach for them. Don't stand back here and expect everything to go according to plan. The odds are that you could get kicked, so be careful about that. Not sure if you see the shadow or that girl, one or the other. Oops, we'll coil that up. At least go on the same side. And go both sides, work your horse on both sides of this deal. And like I said, this horse has had it done before, so it's not saying it's first time. I guess the main thing is to try and remember to stay safe, because these things move really fast and they can hurt you if you're not in the right spot. Or, you know, don't approach the rear end of the horse hard. I like to do this. I don't know how many people do or not, but I like to try and get them to follow my hand and kind of float on that line. Now, to me, that kind of mimics what's going to happen when we're on their backs and we ask for their head to turn one way or another. You know, he's doing that pretty good. He's kind of staying with the float and the rein. He ain't really getting too much attention and trying to take his head away. He just kind of licked his lips right there. That's kind of the sweet deal. You notice just as soon as my hand kind of come down or to the center, he come into the